how's it going? It's the Hoff here, and today is another episode of Setup Showdown. This one is episode 4. If you haven't seen the other episodes, go back, check those out. And there's also the episode which I throw up top here in the card that you can check on how you'd like to submit your setup for Setup Showdown, where at the end of the video, comment below on which setup you like the best and why. And if you want to enter, don't forget I have the video up there and it's going to go over everything on how to enter for Setup Showdown. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So jumping right into it, we have this setup sent in from Jesus Carrera. So to start off, this is a beautiful AMD build with a Ryzen 5 1600 6-core processor. It is cooled by the Corsair H100 V2 all-in-one liquid cooler. He's got a Gigabyte Gaming 3 ATX motherboard. He's got the Corsair Vengeance LED 16 gigs, so that's two 8 gig sticks at 3200 megahertz. For his operating system, he has the Samsung 850 Evo series, which is a 250 gig SSD. For storage, we have the Seagate Barracuda 2 terabyte 3.5 hard drive. For the graphics card, we have the Power Cooler Radeon RX 580, which is the 8 gig Red Devil Golden sample video card. The case is the white edition of the NZXT S340 Elite. It's the ATX mid-tower case, which is the one a little bit smaller than what I have. Beautiful looking case. The power supply is the Corsair 650 watt power supply that's full modular. The monitor is where this build tends to shine because we have the beautiful 1440 144 Hz monitor from Acer in the XF270HU 27-inch monitor. Then for the peripherals here, we have the Magic Force wired mini keyboard, which looks beautiful with the setup, by the way. Then the mouse is the white M65 Pro RGB wired optical mouse. Then we have speakers that are from a company that I love with my speakers, and it's the Audio Engine D1, which have a 24-bit built-in DAC. And then we also have some Kanto U2 speakers. And to go along with this beautiful setup, we also have a few accents going around it, such as LEDs to complement his theme. And then as you see here, we have some headphones, which are the, let's see, for the headphones, we have the Philips SH P9 5000, and then we have Superlux HD 688B as well. So what I really like about this setup is how clean it looks considering all of the stuff that's on it, and the fact that, to me, I'm not really keen on those types of desks, but the fact that he made each and everything his own and has different pair of headphones for what he likes to do. And then at the end here, you see that there's an Xbox to play when, because you always got to get in some of those console exclusives. So I do like that going with it. And then the cable management here is really on par. And the fact that he must love purple, so he can change that RGB theme. But right now he has it going with purple for when he's in that gaming mood. So overall, this is a nice clean build. I didn't see any major issues with this build. Really like it. Thank you again for your submission. Okay, moving on, we have this setup sent in to us from Nick. So with his setup, we have the Intel i7 7700K overclocked. We have the NZX2 Kraken S64 all-in-one liquid cooler to cool that one hell of a hot processor. Then we have the MSI Z270 gaming motherboard for all the overclocking needs of the motherboard and RAM. For the RAM, we have the Corsair Vengeance LED of 2 8 gigs to be 16 gigs total at 3000 hertz. For storage of the operating system, we have a Samsung 960 EVO that comes in at 250 gigs, and it is the M2 solid state. Then for storage, we have a Samsung 1 terabyte hard drive. Nothing spectacular there, it's just for storage. Then with the video card, this thing will shine with the latest greatest of the MSI G40 1080 Ti Gaming X video card. For power, we have the always reliable and popular EVGA 750 80 plus platinum certified fully modular power supply. For case, we have one of the always popular brands popping up of NZXT with their S340 Elite. For monitors, we get the Acer 27-inch Predator monitor of the XB271HUA. And then we get a second monitor that he had for a very long time, which is fine in that, as long as it's only your second monitor. My OCD does kick in because, granted, they're not the same, and I would always want that symmetry with the triple monitors preferred, but it's an AOC monitor, and I'm not sure of the specs on exactly which one, but it is used for second monitor purpose only. For the gaming gear, we have the Razer Black Widow Elite keyboard that I would definitely suggest needs an upgrade to change it to RGB to match the red and black theme going on, since the previous Razer edition would always use blue. Now they've gone to green as their color of choice when it comes to non-chroma, but yet again, everything nowadays is chroma, so you can decide, or RGB if it's not a Razer product. So I would again upgrade to the chroma edition. For the mouse, we have the Razer DeathAdder Elite Gaming Mouse. So that one is good. You can change the color. There's a normal black mouse pad underneath. And then we have the Cloud Hyper X headset, which is really popular. And we have a DX Racer F-Series gaming chair, which a lot of people seem to go with the DX brand. It's become popular. I'm not sure on the comfort yet. Hopefully I can get my hands on one soon. But he has said he does like his build being these red and black theme, mostly because it matches with his graphics card color. So that's why he went with it. So the only things I would suggest is, one, maybe do something with the top paneling of the desk to go either red or white contrast. Just change that up from that wood look, or even paint it, finish it to be a darker color. Maybe do something to make it not just that plain wood look right there. And then, like I said before, change out and maybe sell your keyboard to offset the cost of getting a new Razer keyboard if you want to stick with Razer, and get the chroma to have that RGB so you can have it red and black. That just throws off my OCD, and the second I look at it, I think it's like a Christmas tree, and I really dislike that. So all in all, great setup. I love everything about it except for the keyboard color, just throws it off. Thank you for your submission, and we shall move on to the next. Last but not least, we have this setup coming in from someone who wants to be called Warped. So, here we have a AMD build. It's the Ryzen 7, so this one's the 1700X 8-core processor that's been overclocked. For cooling the needs of that processor, we have the Corsair H110i liquid cooler. We have changed out the paste on that, he says, to the Arctic Silver 5 high density thermal paste to make it better. Then for the motherboard, it's the gaming 5GB AMD board. Then we have the memory of the Corsair Vengeance 16 gig kit of 2 8 gig sticks at 3200 hertz. For the solid state drive on the OS, we have a 240 gig 2.5 SSD. Then for crucial fast storage, we have another SSD that comes in at 960 gigs. Then for regular storage, we have a 1 terabyte hard drive that is a hybrid system of 5400. So I'm really digging some of those hybrid system storage drives. They're pretty nice. They're a little bit more pricier, but they are pretty nice. And then for video cards, we have a Founders Edition from EVGA of the 1080 Ti. So he probably got this right when they came out, which is why it's the Founders Edition and not anything different. For the case, we have the elegant fractal design Define R5 that has a window, and it's the black model. For the power supply, we got the always popular and reliable EVGA 750 watt gold certified fully modular power supply. This one he has done like me and added in a Wi-Fi adapter, and it's the TP-Link PCI Express Wi-Fi adapter, which is another company that makes one similar to what I have, but his does not do the AC on it for wireless 802.11 AC, which I would highly recommend for future-proofing your system. For RGB lighting inside the case, we have the always popular NZXT Hue Plus for the NZXT, and he has also added in the NZXT AER RGB 120mm fans to go around everything inside the case. And then for his keyboard setup, we have a Logitech G710 Plus wired gaming keyboard. And then we have the always popular mouse from Razer of the Death Adder Chroma. That is the wired optical mouse. And for headphone needs, we have the popular HyperX Cloud. That is a 7.1 channel headset. A lot of people love to use that. And for all his cabling needs, inside the case, we get the cable mods swapped out for in there with white cables to match the entire setup. For monitors, we have a beautiful Dell 34-inch 1440 monitor. The only issue with it is it's only a 60 hertz monitor, so I would again want to only make that my second monitor and look into another monitor. And then we have some Bluetooth active speakers from Edifier, which look really nice with this setup here. So again, I would just like to thank Warped and his submission. And as you see with this setup, we have tons of RGB. The curve of the Dell monitor looks so beautiful. But like I said, my only complaint is the fact that this monitor is not 60 hertz. I do like the way those speakers look, and they are beautiful speakers that have Bluetooth, which that's one thing mine don't have, which that again is a nice addition with your setup. I do like the black desk and how long the desk is for having everything on it and not all cramped together. I do think maybe the chair needs to be upgraded, but who am I to talk when I again don't have a specialized gaming chair? I'm sitting with a basic chair from Office Depot, so keep that in mind if any companies want to address that issue I have in helping me out. And as we see with this setup, he has everything purposely placed. And what is that? A coaster, it looks like over there off to the right side. And we have some artwork on top, which he has not really mentioned. And uses some storage back there. Really nice. And at the end here, we see his cable management on point. Everything's tucked away. You don't really see much of the cables. I like how it's off the ground. You're not going to kick it, do anything to it. So thank you again for your setup, Warp.